you're through to Vanessa at the Life Sutra. I'm a GAPS practitioner and very passionate fermenter, and today I want to talk to you about different methods of culturing your ferments. I tend to do wild fermentation as opposed to using a starter culture, and then there are various different methods that you can try. So if you've not seen my video on sauerkraut, when you're making cabbage ferment, you would literally just chop the cabbage, pour sea salt onto it, wait till it starts to break down and some of the liquids start to come out of the juice comes out of the cabbage, and then as that rises up you can push it down and you have sauerkraut. But you can also ferment any other type of meat, fish or vegetable. This week my mum very kindly gave me a couple of bunches of asparagus, which is very in season, and I want to ferment these. So there are a few different ways that I can do that. So if I take my asparagus and I add it to my jar like so, I'm going to add a couple of cloves of garlic, like this, and then I'm going to add some lemon thyme to it as well. So just pop that in the jar. Now, obviously you're not going to push this down and you're not going to produce any liquid out of this. So you've got a few different methods that you can then use. You can create what's called a brine, which is done, this is a 2% brine, which is what you would normally use. Sometimes people use a 3.5%, but let me explain. So 2% brine is 1 cup of water to 1 teaspoon of natural salt. So whether a sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, not regular table salt, because it's processed salt and it's not going to produce the same effect. So you add your natural salt into here, you give it a good stir until all the salt is dissolved, and then you can pour that on top. So that's one method. The other method is to use brine again, but then add some of your sauerkraut juice, because I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of juice in the sauerkraut, and that's already been cultured, so you've already got all the natural probiotic goodness in that. You just pour a little bit off and add that to your ferment. The last method is to use your kefir. Now you can go ahead and watch my other video that I've got about how to make kefir. But once you've got your yogurt that you've taken from the grains, so you've removed the grains from the kefir, and you've then got your kefir yogurt, you then tip it into a cheesecloth lined sieve, like so, and you allow it just to drip off. And what you're left with in here is called whey. And what you've then got left in here is cream cheese. So both of these have probiotic goodness in them. Both of them contain the healthy bacteria that you want. But this then becomes a starter culture that you can use to ferment your vegetables, preserve any other foods that you make. So you could make things like mayonnaise and ketchup. And you would pour it on, depending on what you're doing, and you culture it for different periods of time, different number of days. And then this cream cheese here, so you can see that, is a wonderful cream cheese that you can then flavour up with. I really like doing it with sort of garlic, or you can do it with lemon, add some fresh herbs to it, basil, thyme, and it's really delicious to have with your salads and food. So there you go, those are the different types of methods that you can use to ferment your asparagus. I'm going to do this with the brine, so I'm just going to tip that on top. I would then add a little bit more, close the lid, and then I would allow that to make sure that all the vegetables are covered. I'm going to need a little bit more in this. I'm going to top this up in a bit. I would then put that into a cupboard. I'm going to allow this asparagus to ferment for between 3 to 4 days. Depending on different vegetables and fruits, you just try things out. You can always get them out and taste them, see how sour they taste, and always put them back if you want them a little bit more sour. And that's it. So I hope you have a go. Let me know if you've got any questions. Keep in touch, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel to learn more. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.